What up, guys? What up, guys? Um, your lady, she's pretty good. I like the way she speaks. Watch this.
The 511 Ministries. I pray that all of you are well in the name of the Lord. I want to talk today about the power of repentance. I know not everybody feels like they need to repent every day, despite the fact that we are all sinners each and every single day. There is power in your repentance when you come to God with a sincere heart and really truly feel sorry for the things that you do that are not of God. When you do that, this literally washes you. It washes away the guilt. It washes away the shame. God will literally.
I listened to what she said. This world is is a selfish, cruel world, and we have to understand when it's a selfish and cruel world, it's a very picky world, and certain people love. Now, you know what they say? You shouldn't have sex till you get married. And let me tell you, God said everybody's loved. Nobody should feel like they in love and they being picked on and being called out their name and everything with all of that. I had bad acne when I was a kid. People called me out of my name. I had a lot of regular relationships. Pimples, I had to get proactive. I'm hiding my face in theater class. Me going through acne as a kid and going through a lot of stuff. And I remember, and I'm gonna tell you something that we're gonna talk about God. And I didn't do no work. I laid down half of the whole day when I was in school having bad acne. So I probably lift my head up about once or twice in school when I was getting set down. But in theater at Newman Smith in Carrollton, Texas, they didn't care about that. Like this is an actually true story. And people were like, Hubert, we don't care about how your face and everything breaking out. Raise your head up. Like it's not really because I was going through something. We all go through agony. We all get picked on. We all go through stuff, and we all be left out. And nobody should not have to feel like they love ain't love. And the thing is, parents can be the worst thing in how things are being presented. Me, you're talking about my part. It's a cold world. Why rules are where it is? Why do kids die? Why do it got so much cold hearted? The rules happen because you got three ways why rules and bad rules happen in life. I know everybody don't got your interests and we know those things in life. But we also got to understand people get picked on. People don't always have that good life. You think it was always easy for me to be able to talk to women, girls, and things? Come on. I used to have to sit up there and watch a homeboy girl want to smash and break their virginity. And because of that, I watch a friend, not a friend, a homegirl coming their way to mess with him, but don't, that's the situation of that. But we should not have to feel like we're in love and all these churches feel like, oh, we commit. No, God said you're not taking your responsibility. God said it's not about responsibility for you. It's not guilt. What is guilt? God said you should not have guilt for love. You should not have guilt for those things. I want to be a part of love. I want to be a part of something. These parents, and I mean, look, I didn't even get the chance to explain when I was a kid because people so got they own aspect of things and how people act when I was a teenager. Moms, they got their own aspect, and I always stayed on track. Woman, I have no guilt. That's what you got to understand. You're messing with a warrior in disguise. I have no guilt. You have to understand this world is cruel. Rules come by from our enemy because our enemy, people are dying off of depression. People are dying off these things because they feel like they love not loved enough. They get bullied in school. They feel like they gotta be more and stop being themselves. I've always been myself. My brother apologized to me. He said, Hubert, um, you know, I should have when I had girls around me, I should have participated and brought them around me. But my brother did, and Big Nick and everybody and Smith did. I went to regular parties. So cheerleaders, everybody. So what I mean by that, when my brother told me that I should have had girls around you when I had girls around you, and he had to, and we had to figure, no, he did. I went to regular parties. I was a part of something that football. I was a part of the pep rallies. I was a part of a lot of things. So the concept of it is some people make you feel like you left out, and we got to tell our kids that. I was sitting in the house where my girlfriend Sabina on the call, and I would be like literally depressed and just sitting. I'm staying over there by Creekview one summer, and I'm staying in an apartment, and I would just sit in my house and just because I'm staying down the street from Creekview in the apartment, and I would just sit in my house depressed, and I have to go to school. So I would actually sit in my house actually depressed with that situation. So you have to understand how when you're a kid or whatever that how you feeling that when you're away from your lover or you're away from somebody you love and you're away from somebody else you feel that you feel that. So when you're away from somebody you love in a relationship, you're gonna feel those things and those comment. You're gonna feel like when friends don't call you, and you've been. I went through all of the teenager stuff. All even in New Orleans, I had ups and downs. But grown ups think it's cool to throw like Orion to throw that energy at people. He thinks it's cool without getting to know it. Let me tell you something. Hey, he don't know. I'm gonna let you tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you something. What Sabina dad told me when I was a kid. If I tell you that, and he gonna say, "You prove your loyalty to me because you didn't do something. You waited." But even though me and her kissed and did all of those things, right? We had a chance if we wanted to make love when we was teenager on the sofa, on the bed. But you think those are the things that we gotta understand when kids, when a dad and mama act like some way, and we gotta hold out. And a cousin jealous, sweetie. No, this is not about regrets. This is not about me and her went against the grain. We did everything we can, but jealousy came. A brother, a cousin, them came and started to tell. This is not about what you're saying you are. God gave me a dream. Sabina is meant to play in my life, and you don't even understand to this moment to take care of the Texas community and Trump and everybody. They got a problem with this situation. Oh, people can't do nothing. People don't have the ability. Right now, Sabina played the part of something of history to show those ones it can be done. Let me tell you something. To show that we both make mistakes, but let me tell you something. Where the love at? Where the love at? When parents want to pass things, I can see me and Sabina. It's a different. We still went against the grain, but we still decided to wait, and we had a chance. If he find out that I waited and never did nothing while we was on that sofa, let me tell you, that's loyalty. That's the understanding of that. If he know what he said when we was kids, if he remember what he told me, the concept of those things of loyalty, of understanding, and we can just kiss each other, and we can just do and have each other, and that's the thing. You don't understand those matters. He told me don't go, wait, and tell me what's your attention. Wait, that's the difference. When we had a time. Not just about jealous cousins and all of that. I have to move in a certain way. You think I'm letting that get in my way? Man, Sabina did this without people. We did this before that, and we're going to do this. I'm going to keep doing this. That's not the problem. I was 14, 15 years old with a job. Y'all don't understand. Me and her other little brother, we used to always have a bond. But me and the other one, we didn't that much. She used to keep, and I was like, when I saw him get big and like, and Sabina used to keep, Sabina used to keep him by her side every time, and wherever she goes, he goes, and like me and her used to be bonded together. Me and him and her used to be bonded together. Like I was just like when I see him got big, and we used to like us three used to be bonded together at the park like every day, and like when I was at the house and see him got older, and I was in a part like I was hurt. You have to understand, like when we kids and he got older, and he used to take my chain and jewelry, and Sabina kept the other brother, but Sabina kept him, and us three was stuck to each other. Us three was like stuck to each other. I was like hurting. He got big, and like you don't understand, like that kind of crushed me at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But you don't understand. It's not about that. It's about this world. And people want to be hypocrites about it. I never complained about anything. But people need to start taking responsibility for their part and how they judge and observe the people, parents, the understanding of that. Because that can be the crucial. I wasn't made to cry. You think I was made to have those things? I was made to take whatever comes at me. Yeah, I take responsibility for hurting my lover when I was a teenager. But let me tell you something. But a cousin gotta realize with things they played the part of it. Demir and them got, oh, I don't like the way y'all act. Y'all too sensitive around. Oh, y'all, yeah, you act different because you want somebody cousin to get treated bad. It's the words that was being said when she wasn't around. How can we understand that when things have been the this and that jealousy? When I gotta sit in CC's with somebody else and she can't be there. When I gotta eat, I'm not complaining about the times we didn't spend as a team, but I wanted her there. I wanted her at that movies with her cousin. You think I wanted to be just by myself? I wanted her at the movies when I'm eating CC's with her friends and I'm treating everybody to CC's. I'm looking at another girlfriend. I wanted her there. When I'm at Burger Island and just sitting around, when I wake up like I'm sleeping at the sofa, when I'm across from her mom and her sitting in the middle and I can't touch her, how you think how I feel about certain things in life? But this world and how parents and people act, that's their problem. That's their problem. As Sabina and their mom didn't want me in there, they wouldn't have let me in, and they gave me enough reason that they let me in because I was in their house. I watched her put on makeup. That's love. That's love with it. And I can't take no to be thankful and try to adjust my life a little more. But a man like that around, he got a problem. And the people in the community got a problem. I grew up around Carrollton. I had great teachers, white, black, Mexicans, and like two twins that had jewelry on their neck, and all the rest of them, they talking to girls and all. They got curly hair. Let me meet, and they got two twins. They Mexican. They let me meet. We got jewelry. Like we wasn't taught around there, but parents that we had great people around us. I've always stayed on track. But let me tell. through Social Security stay on track with lying. The ability to keep everybody income balanced even when you have an apartment. I was taught to be independent. At 18, I had my first apartment. I'm counting money. I have a job at 15 and doing all of this. The independence that I am going to colleges. But our government got to realize how can we adjust the ability of kids if you got a disability of working and feel like, hold up, we're going to teach them how to be independent. But that's what we need to teach our youth. We didn't spend all our time in the classroom. Right now, I got kids that's spending their time in the classroom. My ability to follow through is about me going to jobs and colleges at Brookhaven North. Like I had a lot of pressure on me, sweetie. My teachers had me on those things, and you have to understand. I had three substitute teachers in my classroom. We didn't have one. We didn't have nothing. I had three, and some of them was women. And trust me, that I respect them more than I respect those women in the courtroom and those women in the community because they women. They know how to pit on their big draws when they dealing with people. And if Miss Chastity had a daughter, or anybody had a daughter in the school, they would be a real woman. They would know how to see real from fake. And the people at church in the city, they seeing fake in the community in that courtroom. I don't got time for these things. When I'm being put on a pedestal, I gotta go to Creefield past Avon. I gotta do these things. And how people act towards you, baby. Come on. Sabina, mom, and daddy, Demir and their mom never treated me any differently. We all wanted to be close to each other. We talked about having kids, sweetie. But the people, other people came in. That's the biggest threat of them all, to understand those things. Come on, I was in theater class, woman, and it was hard to work with a female. I worked on many projects with many girls, and it's hard the way that parents. It's hard. I can tell you many projects like I had to work with people, and I could never hardly get the job. We had to go along as we want. Come on, nobody feel like putting up with that when parents are not being the way they are. Grandparents. And let me tell you something. I had a girlfriend, and then I had to sit with one girl and Steve, and they on the back flirting with each other and not being professional. When we just came up with that play, and Miss Gulo looked at it. It's hard to work with girls because the way that parents act. And if Orion got something to say about colleges and all of that stuff, he needs a reality check because you need to stop, man. Because like we didn't have no room to do work and do these things and the concept. And like, come on, I'm going to Creekview in the summer and in the daytime and talking to teachers and going to students and having a good time with my teacher passing out Avon. Come on, it's a cruel world. What you talking about here? These parents and look at the way this system is. Let me tell you, when I met Tavani and my friends, and I was a little more out of school, and they had 5 more years, 3 more years. Let me tell you something. When I used to have to go to work, I tell them to lock up. I go to work at night. I tell them to lock up. They playing the game. They watching TV. They talk about their relationships with me, and they come and get me after school and drive me in their truck, and we talk to each other. And and these kids and my teacher at U-Haul, my boss at U-Haul would bring the TV, and my boss at U-Haul would ask about Divine and them and the other kids, and just they would sit in my living room and they would just have fun until it's time. And some of them together right now, I thought Demarcus and somebody else was going to be together, but one person, another person, they have kids and their relationship stood the test of time, and I see because they used to have up and downs when they was like creeping, and they used to sit on my porch and just tell me she used to talk to me about things, and they don't even remember. She remember. I still talk to her, and I tell her, I'm so happy, proud of y'all to just see y'all together and have kids and ups and downs when y'all speak about your relationship. and y'all might don't know where y'all gonna be at as teens, but to see y'all graduate and see y'all do things is amazing in that format. And I look at their pictures and like, whoa. And I would like for my kids to meet her kids, my friends, and I got it on my Facebook. So and he's my homeboy, and he used to always, um like he just my homie, and I miss them like all of them, man. He got me in the back of his truck, and he just, and like, you got to understand, everybody just great. But I had to protect certain people from people because Tavana got sisters, Terrell got teenager sisters, and people are a threat, and you dealing with different mindsets. And Demir up there talking to Aguina, and he trying to play Aguina and Rosa and Shelly, and I didn't want to let that happen. And when you deal with different manipulation mindsets, and you're gonna get those things in the platform of it, and you're gonna get there. So he got mad because I didn't want to hook him up with him. No, man, you got manipulation. What's your attention with my friends that's still in school? What's your attention? What's your attention? And you have to understand what's your attention. And he get mad because Aguina didn't agree to talk and trash. I said, then Shelly and Rose no. And he got mad at that. Hook him up, no, what's your attention, homie? And I had to tell Tavani about him, man. Me and Tavani talked. And I told Tavani about Sabina and him. Me and him talked. And I told like a lot of people, DeMarcus and all the rest of them, about him. And they heard me. I was able to hear my story. Tavani and them when they was team. Me just interacting with them. And I had to go to work. And me just and I was going through orientation. This is when, and it was raining, and I had to go to work soaked, and because they were just leaving the house, and I had to go to work soaked. And I met Grizz. This is when I met Grizz, and Grizz giving me a raincoat, said he you go, and this was when I met Grizz. When I first time I met Grizz, and Grizz gave me this raincoat. He said, Hubert, why you coming in there? So I got an umbrella, but I'm still a little soaked. And Grizz is coming to give me a raincoat. Hubert, when you come to orientation, I'm gonna take some off the shelf. And it was already thing. He had millions of jackets in there. Grizz always doing stuff. And that was my first time knowing that Grizz helped me with a raincoat and made sure I come back and forth without soaking wet because I'm going through the back of the apartment towards QQ and done and thing at 1216. So my first time meeting him was helping me with a raincoat, and he gave me the little thing to come back and forth to orientation, and that was my first encounter with Grizz at 1216. No, but the society got to take it apart. Look how Dallas acting right now. Look what was done in the behavior, sweetie. Look how Ryan acting, sweetie. He don't even know somebody. He think that's cool to manipulate kids and not find your facts. He think that's cool. Tavine and mom let me be around him. All the rest of them, Terrell wouldn't know. I got his little sisters that's 8, 7. No, it's too many people that people having me around. They do music in Dallas. Terrell and them, and all, I get Texas Music Office. They music. It's too many people that I care about, and for Demir and his bullcrap, man, and the way he want to act, and the way his no man, nobody wants to deal with those things. Nobody wants to deal with that thing, man. I have to be very protective over the people that I communicate with sometimes, and I feel like people are a threat because they got manipulation. And we not Demir and us wasn't that older from each other, but I couldn't let that happen. But these parents need to take responsibility for certain things and behavior until they can look at themselves in the mirror and act some type of way. Bam. You think I'm worried about what Orion got to say? My teachers didn't teach me to be no sucker. I ain't got time for that. Either you suck it up and deal with everything that you deal with. That's just the consequences that come with it. A behavior from others. I was sit at this other school, Miss Smith, Miss Chastity, Miss Goldgate, Miss Delore, say, Hubert, you did nothing wrong. And you know what that is? To protect my mindset and put me in a positive room. I went to the detention at CFB on the other side of Carrollton. Over there, George Creek View, they got a CVS and a thing where I moved at. And I would go to this school, it's like a detention school, sit in this room, and they would drop me off and say, Hubert, you did nothing wrong. And I would be in this positive room to protect my life, to protect those things because of other people's behavior. Shorty, I had to stop my classmates from being picked on sometimes. And Mr. Isley would do the opposite, sweetie. And my teacher got tired of him doing the opposite of things. Mr. Isley, this man do the opposite. He's ain't right, guy. This guy ain't right. But he still have the power to stay up in his position as a leader when people are getting bullied on. In 2019, Christina got these two Mexicans that I got into a fight with them in an apartment that Christina deal with. So I got into a fight. I'm fighting three people in the apartment and by myself because of Christina, my ex. And then the same two of the guys picking on my classmate. They got a disability that's like less challenging. Me, I'm a little bit more involved. I'm in regular PE. Doing a little bit more than any of them. And I saw him at the Walmart in 2996. And 2996, he came in there with the glasses, and I like, and I'm looking at him. So he was getting picked on in school, in the locker room, and I had to stop him. Mr. Osley did something he wasn't supposed to do because I was standing up for my classmates from getting bullied by others, and he did some of that. And my teacher got tired of it. So one day after, let me tell you something. They always do the opposite. And Mr. Pouncey, and one day I went to another school and the teacher cussed me out and they didn't want to hear my story. But after I went to Carrollton, police came and got me. And you know what, Mr. Pouncey and everybody came up there and all of the teachers, Miss Google, everybody came in there. And all of the teachers, and all of them, they can't decide my punishment. We are going to decide what's going to happen. If I'm on any school, as long as I'm in school, and as long as I'm in school, they are going to decide. They can't, and not Mr. Isley or none of them. These teachers got to come together because the way he do things is the opposite of the man. But I'm telling her, Orion, don't ride this wave. We all go through stuff. But everybody, that's how kids Down syndrome are killing themselves because the way that parents, everybody don't got a good intention, but you don't know how to see the spirit when they see the spirit.
Matthew 6.
And you don't know how to see the spirit. Parents got to start taking responsibility. Everybody in society got to know to take responsibility for how we observe each other and how we judge each other. We need to start looking at each other in a different light to become better. And once we start becoming better and show more love, how can we do that? I'm not complaining about what women do because they want me to prove their loyalty. You think I'm hurting over those things sometimes? About what I've been through or how girls wanted me? You think I'm worried about those things to understand or what you're talking about? If I got to worry about another teenager before I met Sabine and them or any one of them spitting in my mouth and doing those things and telling me you better not swallow. You think I'm worried about those things that you talking about? And I gotta go down the street from McDonald's. You better not swallow. Just sitting up saliva, whole spit improvement. You think I'm worried about that? Every girl, everybody got mindsets the way they want their loyalty is with their teenager boyfriend, even when you get older, and how they want to prove it. We're dealing with different mindsets and different things in this world. But I'm not going to deal with manipulation and people that like to play games with other people because it make me look like the bad guy. But the way that people act, that's the problem. Some people don't even give you a chance. That's the difference between those things. But I do gotta respect Sabina mom and dad because they let me in and they still you can't think about the bad times. I do gotta be thankful for that. And yeah, after she told me, dad and mama told me, Hugh, it's not time yet. And I was like, hold up, I kind of got happy with that situation because that made me change my perspective more of how we was with each like and how the stagnation, how we not so Mirza said something he was not supposed to say, and I bet you she don't know everything because he want fame. And I don't want. I don't want. He can have it. He got a problem, man. I don't want it. He can take. He can take it. If that's what he want. Him and Yellow Breeze in Dallas with that bull crap. I want her. He can leave it alone, man. Nobody wants to deal with that jealousy. He wanted so bad. I had a problem with him in school where me and the cheerleaders was getting into arguments, and other girls was getting into arguments. Oh, everybody talking about him, and I'm sick of. Nigga tired of that, man. Nigga don't want to do that. There's a reason why Sabina dad and mom to get on, and I hope they catch on to his bull crap, man. And you put your cousin in there calling. You know, man, and if Sabina dad and mom would have known what all he said, she wouldn't be calling me. Cause he want a contract. He want to be down. You can have Dallas, nigga. That's what you want to be down for, nigga. Go and chase your dream. I told him chase it. Be a man, nigga. But don't ride this wave and talk about stuff because the way that parent directing things. I never complained. Go ahead with that. We throw the ball the way it's gotta be thrown, right? We throw it the way it gotta be thrown, right? That's the plan that you want to put life, right? Because the way that parents' mindset, why do people have foster homes? Why are people giving up their kids, right? And they have kids because they ain't responsible. My nanny used to whip me, my brother, when we didn't take care of, like, y'all don't know, my brother hit his baby mom and didn't do the thing. My nanny used to whip her. She didn't play that. Sabina better be lucky she didn't get to meet my nanny from New Orleans and how our responsibility was as a kid. And my brother had got 18 different kids in New Orleans. He got a lot of kids. So he got kids here, got kids over. And let me tell you something. And I had to learn for this. And I had to say to myself, I do not want to get my ass beat. But behind not taking care of my responsibility. So do I have? And I've been in a lot of relationships in New Orleans when I was a kid. So and the part of being a regular relationship and other types of relationship with women. So I with girls and teenagers, and it basically was regular all the way. It was not none like anything with that. So what's the sense with that? You know, I was in Metairie, New Orleans. My teacher was the chief. My teacher, one of my teachers, was the wrestling coach, and I had a bad black woman in Metairie, New Orleans school just sit in the back of me and kiss me and twist my hair, and I cut my hair. I cut my hair a lot of times, and I do those things right. And I remember her said she started liking when you cut your hair, and she liked my face, but she liked me when my hair is more braided. So I'm not cutting, and she still shows some love. We still communicate with each other, but we got into it one time. So after she told me not to cut my hair, so we got into it. So you just sit behind me. You think I'm worried about those things? But parents gotta realize they part in it, and people gotta realize they part in it. And how can we be better? And how we observe each other and judge each other. Orion said something he didn't supposed to say, but he trying to bring that bad energy on people, and that's not cool. But you can't worry about the punchline. You can't take it in a bad way. You gotta still move in a good way of it. He gonna say stuff, but can you still move in a good way? Can you still move positive in the way that you want? That is the greatest thing. If you can still move in a positive, and what life without criticism? But cousins acting the way they acting. No, nobody want to hear about when you're a teenager about, oh, I don't like the way how y'all acting towards each other and doing all that. You think I wanted to say those words? And not a moment that I didn't want to kiss up a tear. And I'm hurting. I went to when she left, I was hurting the whole night. It's stuck in my memory. It's not scenes that you're talking about. It's what others think. It's how cousins and them want to act. What sins you think I committed? What do you think? A sinner is fight for something. You call somebody a sinner for fight for something that is right, and what communities and politics trying to take, and how we observe and love each other, how we try to listen to each other. You think God is for those moments? And this is for my uptown politician, like Wayne said, and Dallas politicians. And I'm sorry if Ryan gonna think different after this, but this got something to do with Kanye West. And I don't want them to look at me different after this. If I'm going to have a menage, I'm gonna create kingdoms. We're gonna create God kingdom or create more spot. That's the difference between those things. And I don't want people in the community to get some type of way, but to understand because we're dealing with politics. We're dealing with everybody in that format. The Department of Defense had their eyes on the prize. They was watching everybody. You don't think they was watching me interact with certain people around the world? Come on. You don't think other kids in other countries like UK was asking me, come on, Donald Trump playing dumb. They playing dumb and they telling me to wait. You think you know who Dallas is calling the dog? You see, government. I bet you Donald Trump didn't tell Governor Abbott everything. What about when he whispered in his ear? And I bet you Donald Trump was watching the mindset of others, talking to Governor Abbott. Mr. Trump is a smart woman. You know, Mrs. Trump, you know what she said when she was in office? I started not to trust people and tell her husband, you know what she said? Oh, she a very smart woman. I like her. She's, hey, Donald Trump, you better, you got somebody good like that, a very strong, a spiritual woman that knows something. And I hope he hear this. So me, the understanding of those things, right? So let me tell you something. I'm not worried about what people got to say, and nobody not dealing with all that bull crap or what people talking about. You know, people got their own concept, but my spiritual self is going to change of my gift, more of my gift that I have, and that's if I was in the army, I wouldn't need a satellite to see my enemy. I wouldn't need monopolists to see my enemy. I would see my enemy by spirit. And that's the definition of that. You know, you have to sometimes you have to protect holy grounds from my enemy. Right? The vision of God, the light is always gonna be on God. You know, little Kiki said he got a heart of a God. He got a heart. He got a big heart. Little Kiki said, I got a God heart. I got God heart and I got God's spirit. And this is a tough world and we have to deal with it. But the way that parents act and people act, how can we deal? Everybody don't got that. No. I have to deal with a lot of stuff. My responsibility is doing what my girls asking me, whatever they ask me. What my I don't commit a sin what that thing is. What sins when you defending something and you fight for something greater? That's not a sin. When you fight for something Greater a sin you committed of going against other Americans and communities, Texas community that complain about their tax dollars. We never did nothing to the community or the businesses, but they didn't understand. Like my past friends and everybody in schools actually, Hubert, what you doing in that position? What you don't need the other kids like the people that knows me. Everybody was coming, but you got other mindsets. I was just let me tell you something. Before I got back on that 2996, I gave the Justice Department this guy that intimidated me. He worked at Kroger's because he was judging. And let me tell you, and I told Doug Miller, you can still make a perfect example by still filing through you and the CEOs and everybody feeling you can make a perfect example about what I mean, about what's going on here. And let me tell you, this guy, I was supposed to go to the deli and the Kroger's, and I turned that job down because he saw my handwriting and he wanted. I don't got the best handwriting, but you can still understand it. And I didn't go to the job. I passed the job test. I passed the drug test. I passed everything. I already got my shirt, but he made me feel uncomfortable, not in short, right? But when I get back on, I'm in maintenance around. I was supposed to be a stocker, then they acted some type of way. And then after I went in the maintenance department, because they said negative things. I went to the deli and he came in there and intimidated me, the manager at Kroger, that he was racist and his politics. One of my friends that I work with, 1216, he's a car pusher. He was there and he do music. And I was telling him about the platform that I was on. And he do music in Dallas. And he do music in Dallas. And he's a big artist in Dallas. And we worked there. He was a car pusher at 1216. And he do music. He got numbers. And we all car pushers. He in the studio with some girls in Dallas. That he in some studio with some girls in Dallas. Nobody got time for those things, format. And I really don't got time. Dallas is not even what my vision. I making too much noise? I making too much noise? All right. Oh no, I'm just on my pad talking for a minute. All right, look. So, what those things was, right? Did I complain? Did I complain? No, that's just the way things is. But when we don't get a chance to be heard and people just judge without under listening, how can we understand it? Baby, people been trying to ruin me my whole life and they couldn't. I didn't have girls when I'm with Miss Jane and she taking me to Brookhaven. And I had women get out the car and call me a loser because they want to get to me. They trying to get to me. And they mad because I moved different. I had a woman that rent an apartment in Marsh Lane or by 2996 under the bridge. That's me and my mom going to her apartment over there where I used to work at a Marsh in Frankfurt, 2996. And the lady didn't get, well, you know why she didn't rent us an apartment? Because she said something about, oh, used to everybody get along because I moved different from the people that you, and I'm still moving different. And we moving different now. I miss the people at the maintenance and at the American Line Center in Fort Worth and the international side. We used to talk every day, and he used to tell me, Hubert, I met all of these people, men and ladies sold tickets, and we used to talk. Everybody, we used to get along, but smart cards had a problem because they not that talkative. And I told him when you met me, and I told him, look, I worked in customer service. I work with Miss 1216. I'm helping them with the cash. I'm standing by the register. I got a call if a customer got something. I work, but he gonna call me something, and I told him these guys are vindictive. Dallas took some of mindsets are stuck up, but you got them working in your business. But I can see a kid smile. It's like I work in a deli, and I can see doing anything, and I cut the little chicken part off. A kid never had a piece of a cheese before. I didn't start eating different cheeses until I got one American cheese until I started working at Walmart. in the back room, and they have different cheeses. I'm stuck to one cheese. So when I go to Subway, I might get them to put different cheeses on there. In Walmart, they give sandwiches and back there for the employees. So, let me try the different cheese. So when you're so used to eating one cheese, and you get then they have it in the back room, and they switching it up. I said, damn, I'm starting to like the cheese that they giving. I never had to like when you growed up on one cheese. So I'm starting to like the different cheese that's being given. So it's the format of that, man. Let me tell you, that guy intimidated me in 2996 from Kroger's. And he was mad because they had me in the deli. And I think Doug Miller going to be able to see that. As a Kroger's manager, and I gave the Justice Department that, but Governor Abbott, and like he lied to the people and everybody, like, oh, everybody's successful. No, that's not the reason of that. People never gave up on me. But is they still willing to portray God and Jesus like they're trying to do now? And the mayor act like he's a good guy and he said some racist thing. Baby, I hold no responsibilities. I love everything about my life. And nobody never told me, oh, Hubert, I don't want you in my relationships. And these guys know it's not even that. Let me tell you something. It's not time for us. Let's wait till we get in college and get more career. We all have goals. But I was a little more far ahead than everybody. So I'm taking care of my business and doing those things. I'm going at 14, 15 years, I'm going to job fairs. I'm doing stuff like that, interacting with people. You think you know how this works? I'm going to college. I'm at Brookhaven. I'm at North Lake. I got to interact with my other employees at Big Lots, and I got to do all of this at a teenager age. But sometimes, how we understand when people don't have the love and how people parent, how we understand? You think I'm worried about what around say people have trying to ruin me? And you know our government is dumb. They'll believe anything and follow through with that. And that's going to be the biggest threat. That's going to be the biggest threat of them all. What God is going to lose. What pain is going to come without doing what pain is going to come. That's going to be the biggest threat that's going to hurt us. If it's innocent, that's going to be the biggest threat. People are going to be damaged. You don't think we paying a price by boundary of connections? You don't even know we paying a price. Kids are dying off of boundaries. You think you know? With rules, you think you know? We all gonna hurt at the end of all of this. When we trying to keep the mindsets apart, we all gonna suffer a price if we don't get it together. We just don't know it yet. But the man of above watch. He watching. He watching those things and the concept of it. Let me tell you something. When I'm watching kids from other states and kids from the UK and on my live man Big Live and they tell me he would wait and all of that, but this man gonna lie. Right? You think I'm worried about those things and those concept of those things and what the concept with MO3 and them live and talking about his numbers and my numbers are greater? I think the state of Texas is gonna be able to see it, right? What about the networks? Center. I think they're going to be able to catch on. They're trying to protect their investments. You think they know what they Governor Abbott trying to do? After MO3 and